And we're back on the SportsMax zone. Time to talk some cricket. The West Indies were beaten by 6 wickets in the first match of their 3-match T20 series against India earlier on Wednesday. After inviting West Indies to bat first, the visitors made 157 for 7 in their 50 overs. In their 20 overs, man of the match and debutant Ravi Bishnu bagged 2 for 17 in 4 overs, while top scorer for the Windies Pooran hit an impressive 61 from 43 balls. In response, India raced 50 in the first 5 overs. Skipper Rohit Sharma top scored with a 19-ball 40, while Surya Kumar Yadav 34 not out and Venkatesh Iyer 24 not out. Eventually, that took India home with 7 balls to spare. After the match, West Indies captain Pollard shared his thoughts on the match.
It was a good game of cricket, overall, getting down to the 19th over there. I thought it was good on part of the bowlers, a little due on the outfield. If I'm being honest, I think, between overs 6 to 15, we only scored like 46 runs in 9 overs. So I think if we can, look at it, we go up a notch in a couple of runs in those overs, we get 18, 20 runs, it would have been competitive, on this ground.
At the halfway stage, were you happy with 157 on board?
No, obviously not. We know 15, 20 runs, sort of short. But, if we got early wickets, we could have put them under pressure. But, again, they got off to a good start. Rohit, taking the initiative and going after the bowlers. So, after 6 overs, they were, obviously in front of us. But I thought the way that the bowlers bowled and the way that we fielded, I think was very good, on our part. So I think we have to play it, as we see it. It's continuous work in progress. And, the guys are working assiduously, in order to get it right. So I said, if we look at it, 9 overs of 46. If we had another 15, 20 within that block there, I thought we finished off well. We got like 60 odd in the last 4 overs. That's 15 runs an over. So again, it's just a matter of setting it up properly, and we continue to work on that. We can dissect from now till thy kingdom come, but we never get the right answer. It's just a matter of we have to come and get it done.
Well, Vice Captain Pooran also gave his assessment of where the team fell short.
Our batting. I think we played the spinners fairly okay today. Just for us to continue that and continue to build partnerships. And just negate the spinners a bit better, to be honest. I think today we are better in 2 minds how to go about them, whether to attack them or just keep them out of the game. And we got caught in both minds there. So small fix, in my knowledge, I think it's a small fix. It's just for us to be a bit clear for the next game and just come out and execute our plans.
While the second and third matches of the T20 series will be played on Friday and Sunday and can be seen live on SportsMax. So Lance, as you said at the top of the show, different format, same result. We heard from the skipper Pollard, and maybe we can start by discussing what he said first. He spoke about due on the outfield, not producing enough runs in particular overs, of course attributing to that loss. What did you make about their overall performance today?
Well, Polly is right. The total wasn't a big enough total to put India under pressure, and as he said in the post-match interview, they were relying, since their total was 157, on getting some early wickets to put the Indians under pressure. So when you put a total on the board that's not adequate, it puts immense pressure on your bowlers now to try to lift you out of the hole that you've put yourself in. And that's really what happened. I think his assessment is on point, and for months now we've heard him crying over the batting deficiencies in this West Indies team, and it showed up again today. They should have made more runs.
Yeah, I know you have a lot of time for Pooran, one of your favourite batsmen, if I'm to even say so. Today he got a bit of runs under his belt, 61 off 43 balls, Lance. He spoke also at the end of the match, speaking about the importance of partnerships, and we continue to stress that on the show because, anybody who understands cricket will know that the only way you're going to win a match is if you continue to build consistent partnerships. We didn't get that today. However, Pooran got some runs.
Yeah, he played very well. He had scored a 70 against England in Bridgetown in late January, and outside of that, this has been one of his best knocks in recent times. In December, I think he had a 60-odd against the Pakistanis as well. But Pooran needs to be more consistent. He showed today what he is capable of. And we just need to see that more regularly from him. And you don't want to be greedy because he did well today. But, in match-winning performances from players globally, you see them turning 60s into hundreds and or 90s and hundreds and really pressing on the advantage because he was batting well.
Right.
And he appeared for long periods in his innings to be in control. But I like what I saw from Pooran today. I know that he's a quality player, and I would just like to see him being more consistent in putting the kind of effort that we saw from him today on a more regular basis.
Yeah, additionally, you know, the bowling, Roston Chase, pick up the bowlers. He picked up 2 wickets, 14 runs, Lance. He came in, of course, replacing Jason Holder, who was injured during training. So, for me, a big miss to not have Jason Holder. And I say that especially because, as of recent, we know what Jason Holder can do. But even more so as of recent, you know, he has really re-announced himself. He has reminded people of the danger that he poses to an opposing team. So I would say that, you know, he was a big miss today. Roston Chase came in his spot, of course, grabbing those 2 wickets.
Yeah, and I want to point out as well, which is something we've spoken about so many times on the show, you realize that the man of the match today was on his debut. The Indian player Bishnoi, it was his first T20 international, and he was man of the match. And the other successful bowler, Patel, I think this was his 3rd T20 international. So I just want to emphasize the point that India have so much talent that they can very often go outside of their first choice 11 and put players in who are ready to deliver, you know, top-class match-winning performances. I know many of them have a lot of appearances in the IPL, which prepares them for international cricket. We know how competitive the IPL is. But I said Bishnoi came in today on debut, 2 for 17 from 4 overs, and was man of the match, first time playing a T20 international.
Yeah, and I remember you strongly making that point yesterday and, you know, telling our viewers that not to be too excited or not to harp on the point that, you know, India will be without some of their senior players, their stronger players, because these youngsters that get the opportunity, these are moments that they've been waiting for forever. It's a dream come true for them because we know how the Indians eat, sleep, drink cricket. So when they get the opportunity, there's no way that they're going to mess up. And they're really just as good and can walk into any A side.
Yeah, and they showed that again today because, as I said, apart from Bishnoi, who was on debut, there was Harshad Patel as well, who took 2 wickets, and this was just his 3rd T20 international. Friday and Sunday will be the 2nd and 3rd T20 internationals. Again, you have to think that the Indians are favourites to win the series, and not only win the series, but probably sweep the series. But you saw moments today when you realized that the West Indies can be competitive. As you said, Mariah, this is the format of the game that a lot of the West Indian players feel more comfortable in. And although the Indians have a strong and very potent roster, the West Indies have match winners. As long as they turn up and perform to the best of their ability, they can challenge the Indians and probably get a result. So let's see Friday and Sunday. They can, you know, put the Indians under more pressure and get a result. They don't want to be swept in both the ODI series and then the T20s as well.
Not a good look at all, Lance. But we're staying with cricket, and you have an update.
Yeah, we're turning our attention now to the regional 4-day championship. First-class cricket, red ball cricket back in the Caribbean. Day 2 of the 2nd round continued today with 3 matches. The Jamaica Scorpions up against the Barbados Pride. In the first innings, they were all out, the Jamaicans, for 328. In reply, the Barbadians had reached 243 for 2. Craig Brathwaite, 134 not out. Raymond Reefer, who had taken 6 wickets in the Jamaica innings, 55 not out. In the Jamaican total, John Campbell made 127. Paul Palmer, 76. And Kruma Bonner, 49. Leroy Lugg, 39. As we said, Reefer, 6 for 23. The Guyana Harpy Eagles were bowled out for 116 by the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, who were later score 366 for 5. Kyron Paul, 74. Devon Thomas, 72. Munson Hodge, 71. Jamar Hamilton, 48. Terence Ward, 45. Not out. That match being played at Queen's Park Oval. And the TNT Red Force, they were all out for 326 in their first innings. And in reply, the Windward's Volcanoes, 98. And following on, 32 for 3. So in the Windward's 98 all-out, Alec Athanas, he made 33. Anderson Phillip, who had picked up a 5-for in the last weekend's game. Anderson Phillip 4 for 32, Jaden Seals 3 for 31, Imran Khan 2 for 3, and following on, as we said, the Windward's Volcanoes are 32 for 3, Anderson Phillip 2 for 17 at the moment. This match being played at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. So lots of action going on there. 100 for John Campbell yesterday, 100 not out at the moment for Craig Brathwaite, the West Indies captain. So Campbell, Murad, putting his hand up for a recall to the West Indies team for the test match they have coming up against the English in March.
So Campbell putting his hand up, Craig Brathwaite saw him putting his hand up and decided to put his hand up too. I mean, he's the captain, so that's that. But, I mean, and that's amazing because I love the fact that, you know, our opening batsmen can produce runs, Lance. That is where our issue starts. We've spoken about the problems, the batting problems that we've had from time to time, the openers failing the rest of the team, especially because when you have a solid opening partnership, it makes the job easier for the rest of the batsmen to come. It takes away a lot of the pressure from those coming to the crease. So I'm happy to see that, and I'm also happy for the return of regional cricket, because whenever we think about the problems that we have, it starts from the lack of this type of cricket.
Yeah, you know what? The batting performances that we've seen so far in the series, this is the second round, there are some performances that, you know, would be interesting for the selectors. Devon Thomas made 112, I think, in the first match, and he made 72 in this big Leeward Islands Hurricanes. A man with West Indies experience with white ball predominantly, and he's putting his hand up as well. I'm not sure if the selectors will look in his direction, but after 100 and then 72 here, and there is still more cricket to be played between now and when the selectors meet to decide on the roster for the test team. Devon Thomas is giving them something to think about because he's a player. What I like about Devon Thomas is his appetite for a challenge. I know as far as producing runs consistently over the years, he may not have been knocking the selectors' doors down, but when you see him perform, when you see him on a cricket field, he has this appetite for the challenge. And I like that. And it is something that I see from time to time in a player like Kyle Mears, who was for a long period ignored by the selectors for international cricket. But I think we've got to ask our selectors now to look sometimes beyond just what they're seeing in the scorebook. And look for what players have inside of them, because I think there are some players who may not look, based on the eye test, as a high quality as some of their rivals battling for teams. But if they get an opportunity, there's something inside of them that urges them to perform. And I'm not saying Devon Thomas should get a test selection. I'm just saying I like his appetite for the game. He loves a challenge. He warms to competition, and that is something innate in sports personalities that I think is a requirement for success at international level.
Well, what is clear, Lance, is that we have a new bunch of selectors and yet to figure out, you know, their style and their technique in selecting. But we'll wait and see, because anything can happen, and I'm happy that the players are knocking on the door. So it's up to the selectors now to open it for them.
Yeah, break time. Back with more on the SportsMax Zone after this.